Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's October 21st, 2018. I'm out here in the second food forest area near one of the the swale systems. I'm actually hunkered down right here behind Bumblebee because the wind gusts are so bad. It's about 37 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and it's going to get colder today. We're getting a little bit of mixed snow and rain right now. And recently Mars rover had asked, geez, do you have more work to do in your orchard, your permaculture food forest areas to prep for winter? And yes, there's tons of stuff to do. Yesterday, after getting the last of the tomato cages removed, and as I mentioned, I'll be modifying some of the tomato cages. One of the things I'm going to be doing now is switching out the tree guards that are around the serviceberries that line this whole swale system over here behind me. And these serviceberries, or Juneberries as they're also known, have been growing in these tree guards for the last 2 years because the deer would just munch them right down to about 8 inches off the ground. So I put the tree guards on them, and now they're popping out over the top, and the weeds had grown up since the last time I harvested soil from the canal system. So yesterday I took Bumblebee with the grading bucket, and I started scraping up the banks of the swale system, and creating these piles of soil that I'm going to transport to different locations on the property where I don't have to worry about the weeds. So when scraping around these, I'm pulling out some of the weeds, the quack grass, and there is some bindweed along the bases of these as well. And my goal is getting all the extra soil out of here, then coming back and putting compost around the base of each one of these serviceberries, and adding wood chips if it weren't so darn windy, and it's just too darn windy this time of year to lay down cardboard because I'd be chasing it after setting it down. But I'll put wood chips on top of the compost, and then as I get some of these cages modified, I'll be putting those around each one of the serviceberries after removing these tree guards, so they have more room to expand and still offer some protection for the deer. The deer are in here, the does and the fawns are in here right now pretty heavy. Every night they're in here, quite a few deer. And pretty soon the bucks are going to be coming through too. So I've got to get some tree guards up around some of the trees where they've done deer rub damage in the past. And I'll put a link in the video to the upper right hand corner to a deer rub that we have. And each year we lose some trees to the deer rub. But I'm going to try and do what I can to prevent too much damage to some of these younger trees that are out back right now. Well, not right now, but in future videos. So if the weather holds up and I can shoot video without it being too windy or too wet, rain and snow, then I'll record it and I'll be posting videos as I'm working out in the food forests, trying to get things prepped for this winter. But yes, there's plenty of stuff to do. So what I'm going to be doing today is removing all of this material, see if I can bring in some of the compost and maybe put some wood chips. I had a load of wood chips delivered yesterday, so pretty excited about that. So I'm going to get started. Well, I was able to get quite a bit done today despite there being some intermittent hail and snow going on today, but and we'll get more tonight, but I don't think it's going to accumulate. The soil is still too warm for any significant accumulation unless we get a hell of a lot of lake effect tonight. I was able to pull the weeds and all that were right around the base of each one of those tree tubes that were securing some of the sod and quackgrass to the tree tubes around each one of the serviceberry plants. Then I was able to get some compost around each one of the base of the serviceberry plants, and then ultimately put a whole row of wood chips. Fortunately, yesterday, last evening, my wood chip man Bud, he came by with a full truckload of wood chips, poplar, it looks like most of it, and I was able to get that spread out, and that's enough to secure and decrease the chances of the compost making its way and draining away too quickly. I need at least 1.5 to 2.5 more loads of wood chips to secure this a little bit better. But that gets me to the point where I can rework those tomato cages or more of the concrete reinforcing mesh, so that I can get those anchored around each one of these serviceberries and get these restricting tree tubes off, because they've outgrown these tree tubes. But I'll post another video in the future once I get a new blade in, so I can cut that concrete reinforcing mesh and modify the tubes that are going to protect each one of these serviceberry plants as well. I was able also to take a scoop or 2 scoops of the sediment in the base of the swale system, right where it drains, where it would be the spillway, but it actually goes through a 4-inch drainage pipe which conducts that fluid down into the soil collecting canal system. I have to do that about every 2 years because of the amount of sediment that builds up in each one of these swales, and that way I can harvest the soil as well. So if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when we post more videos, and try to stay warm, folks. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now.